Hello, welcome to Statistics Lesson 3, finding the missing number in a given data set. So in Statistics Lesson 2, you had to find the mean, median, mode, and range of a data set. We're going to use what we learned there to help us with today's lesson. So now, if you don't have a calculator, maybe pause this and grab a calculator or get one online, because in statistics you can use a calculator and it will be very helpful as we were doing some of the computations for today. Our learning target is I can find and describe the measures of center, which are mean and median, and measures of variation, which are range and interquartile range for a data set. So these first couple slides are an example. Please refer back to these if you are feeling confused or when you get to your practice page and need a little extra help. Please feel free to look back at this example. It will show you how to set up these type of problems. So it says, Sunny wants to earn at least 88% in her geology class. She has one test left to take. On the first 5 tests, she received a 74%, 92%, 98%, 100%, and 83%. What score does she have to get on the one she's going to take in order to get 88% as her average? Remember, average and mean are the same thing. So step 1, set up the problem as if you're finding the mean. So how do we find the mean? Well, we add all our numbers together, right, and divide by how many numbers are in the data set. So what we do here is writing down all the numbers. So if we look, okay, they wrote 74, which is that one, 83, which is this one, 92, 98, 100, and then they put plus X. That X stands for that next test that she's going to take, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to find out what she has to score on that. Okay, and so we, right, to find the mean, add them all up and then divide by how many numbers there are. Well, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's why it says divide by 6. Now, we want to turn this into an equation so we can solve for that X. So we know when we add them all together and divide by 6, it's going to give us the mean. And they told us what she wants for her mean, right, for her average. She wants this 88. So that's why we write equals 88. Okay, so to continue on, once we have that wrote down, we solve the equation. So we first think, well, I got to get rid of a divide by 6, right? Because we want X by itself. And right now we have this divide by 6. So how do we get rid of it? We multiply it by 6 because those are inverses and they cancel. But if we do it to one side, we have to do it to the other. So 88 times by 6 gets us this 528. So we now have all those numbers that we are going to add, plus our missing the X, and that has to equal 528. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add up all these numbers, right? And so on a calculator, we're going to go 74 plus 83 plus 92 plus 98 plus 100. And that gets us right here where they have it, this 447. Now, we want to get X again by itself. So we're adding 447. So the inverse is to subtract. They cancel out. 528 minus 447 is 81. So we are saying that this missing number right here is 81. She has to get an 81 in order to get an average of 88%. Okay, so refer back to them if you have questions setting it up, but we're going to try a lot. Okay, let's try our first one. So we have 28 plus 37 plus 42 plus 50 plus 26 plus 26 plus, we're going to put an X, remember, because we're figuring out this missing number right here. Then, right, we divide by how many numbers we have. Well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And yes, we count that missing as a number because it's part of our, what we're trying to find. It's part of one of our numbers. And then that has to equal a mean of, it tells you right there, 35. Okay, we have our equation set up. Now we start solving it. How do we get rid of a divide by 7? We multiply by 7. So we do that to both sides, right? Whatever we do to one on an equation, we do to the other side. So 35 times 7 is 245. Okay, our next step is we're going to add all those numbers together that we have. So 28 plus 37 plus 42 plus 50 plus 26 plus 26. And that gives us 209 plus we still have that missing. Okay, we continue to solve our equation. How do we get rid of an add 209? We subtract 209, right? Do it to one side. We have to do it to the other. So x is going to equal 245, subtract 209, 36. Now, the nice thing about these problems, you can always check them. Okay, so we can find the mean. We can add all our numbers. And we're actually going to add the 36 and then divide by how many numbers? We said there was 7. And look at that, we got 35, and that is what we wanted, right? A mean of 35. So that tells us that 36 was the correct missing number. Okay, let's try another one. So step 1, write down our numbers by adding them together. So 40 plus 31 plus 16 plus 11 plus 61 plus x. All divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gives us a mean of 38. Okay, now let's start solving our equation. How do we get rid of a divide by 6? Times by 6. So 38 times by 6, 228. Now we need to, right, add up all the numbers that are right here. I call it cleaning it up, right? We're cleaning up this expression on this side. So 40 plus 31 plus 16 plus 11 plus 61 gets us 159 plus, we still have that x. Now, how do we get rid of an add? 159, we subtract 159. Do it to one side, we do it to the other. So x is going to equal 228 minus 159, 69. So our missing value is 69. Now remember, we can check it really easy. 40 plus 31 plus 16 plus 11 plus 61 plus the 69 equals 228 divided by 6 numbers gets us a mean of 38. So we know we're right. Okay, I would always check them because isn't that feeling good when you know that your answer is correct because you've been able to. Okay, let's do another one. So same steps. We follow the same steps every time, right? 13 plus 18 plus 11 plus 43 plus the missing number of x divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers gets us a mean, they say, that is 24. Okay, here we go. How do we get rid of a divide by 5? We times by 5. Okay, 24 times by 5 is 120. Okay, remember next step is to add or clean up those numbers. So 13 plus 18 plus 11 plus 43 is 85 plus that x. How do we get rid of an add 85? We subtract 85. So x equals 120 subtract 85. X is 35. Okay, a quick check. 13 plus 18 plus 11 plus 43 plus 35 divided by those 5 numbers gets me a mean of 24. Okay, let's try another one like that. So let's see, right now, my greatest number is 7 and my least number is 2. 7 subtract 2 would give me a range of 5. But this says if the range is 6. So I got to change one of my numbers, right? So let's try this. If I put in a 1 right here, my greatest number is still 7. My least number is 1. And 7 minus 1 is 6. So that works. But I always still like to double check just to make sure. So if I put in a 13 there, my greatest is 13. My least is 2. Oh, that's a range of 11. So that's not going to work. So for sure it has to be 1. All right. Oh, sorry. You try this one and press play when you want to go over it. Okay. Our greatest number is 38. Subtract our least number is 28. Well, 38 minus 28 is a range of 10. And that, if the range is 10, so let's look at this. If I put in a 45, that's going to change my high. Is that going to change my range? Yes. If I put in a 29, is that going to become my low number? No, because 28 is lower. So I'd put in a 29. Okay, last one. Go ahead and try it and then press play when you're ready. Okay, our highest number, because we're finding the range, our largest is 14 and our smallest is 8. 14 minus 8 gives me a range of 6. So if I keep reading, if the range is 9, well, I don't want a range. I have a range of 6 right now, so I got to do something. So if I put in a 17, right, for my missing, so 17 minus the low number of 8, well, 17 minus 8 is 9. Perfect. So I'm thinking of 17 now, but I always want to double check. If I put an 18 in there, 18 is now my highest number. Subtract my lowest number, which is 8, gives me a range of 10. Nope, 18 is not going to work. Okay. Directions say find the missing number. So below are the number of almonds in a small bag of each brand of trail mix at the grocery store. If the mean of the data is 4 almonds, find the missing number of almonds. So wrote a little differently than our last ones, but the process stays the same. So I first write down my numbers. So 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 5 plus 2 plus x for my missing. Okay, divided by, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. And I go up to my story problem and it says the mean is 4. So that gives me an average of 4. And then I start solving this equation. So instead of dividing by 6, what do? The inverse times by 6, which I know is 24. Okay, then I add up all the numbers. 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 5 plus 2 gets us 21 plus x, right? So I have to subtract, and I'm running out of space, 21. 24 minus 21, I know that, right? It's 3. So our missing number is 3. Now again, don't forget to take that last second and check it. 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 5 plus 2 plus, we're saying the missing number is 3, divided by 6 numbers, me a mean of 4. So hopefully this is starting to kind of click with you. Let's try another one. Okay, if the mean of the data set is 6, find the number of coins Julia found. So we're going to have to interpret a graph here a little bit. So Alice, it says, found 6, plus Davy found 5. Lucas found 6. And Carter found 8, plus the x for Julia. We don't know hers, right? Divided by how many? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it says the mean is 6, so equals 6. Now again, this is familiar, right? We solve it. How to get rid of a divide by 5? Times by 5, which is 30. Okay, we add up our numbers. 6 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8, 25 plus x. Okay, get rid of that 25. It will not. There we go. Okay. So x equals 5. Now we check. 6 plus 5 plus 6 plus 8 plus 5, because that's what we found, divided by 5. There we go. That's what we wanted. Right? A mean of 6. Okay. Let's try one more together, and then I'm going to have you try some. Here we go. So the following data points represent the number of points scored last basketball game by each player on the Panthers basketball team. If the mean of the data set is 8 points, find the missing number of points. So there we go. 5 plus 8 plus 11 plus 7 plus the missing number divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it says the mean has to be 8. So we solve it. How to get rid of a divide by 5? Times by 5, which is 40. Add up my numbers. 5 plus 8 plus 11 plus 7. 31 plus x. Right? How do we get rid of an add 31? Do the inverse of subtract 31. So x equals 9. Check it. 5 plus 8 plus 11 plus 7 plus 9 divided by 5 numbers gets me a mean of 8. Okay. So pause the video and try this one, and then press play when you are ready. Okay, check your work with me. So the following table shows the number of innings pitched by each of the Greenberry Goblins starting pitchers during the Rock Bottom tournament. So I write down my numbers: 11 plus 12 plus 7 plus 3 plus x divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. And it says the mean of the data set is 8. Now we solve it. So, right, get rid of a divide by 5 by timesing by 5. 8 times 5 I know is 40. Okay, add them up. 11 plus 12 plus 7 plus 3, 33. Plus I still have that x. How do I get rid of an add 33? The inverse of subtracting 33. X equals, I can either know that it's 7 or I got that calculator. So Brantley pitched 7 innings. Now, don't forget to check. It's a real quick way to make sure we get the answer right. Add all those numbers with our 7 now. Divided by, there was 5, gives me that 8. Okay, again, try this one and press play when you're ready. All right, let's go through it. So the following table shows the number of attendees at each of the private dance events hosted by Vanilla Arrangements. So we have 48 plus 33 plus the missing. This time we're dividing by a small number, right? There's only 3. And it says the mean of the data is 41. So we got it set up. Now we just go to solve it. How do you get rid of a divide by 3? I'm sorry, timesing by 3. 41 times by 3, 123. Okay, we add up our numbers. 48 plus 33, 81 plus that x. Okay, we want x all by itself, so we subtract 81. X equals 123 minus 81, 42. Okay, so that tells us how many attendees are at Harry's Hoedown. Now let's check it. 48 plus 33 plus 42 divided by 3 gets us a mean of 41. All right, here we go on another one. Pause and try it. Okay, let's write it down. We have, let's see, their final exam scores last semester. So a 72, an 85, a 92, and a missing, divided by, there's 4 of them. And it says they have a mean of 84. So once it's set up again, process stays the same. We times by 4 to get rid of it, times by 4. 84 times by 4, oh, not 6, times by 4 is 336 equals, now remember we add our group of numbers we have, 72 plus 85 plus 92, 249 plus x. So we have to subtract that 249 to get x by itself. Subtract 249 over here. 336 minus 249 gets us 87. Okay, let's check it. 72 plus 85 plus 92 plus 87 divided by 4 gets us a mean of 84. Okay, last one I believe of this type, so try this one. And press play when you're ready. Okay, Frank wants to have a bowling average of 215. I would love a bowling average of 215. Bowling sometimes is hard. But the first 7 games he scored, here we go, let's write them down. 159, a 182, a 225, 240, 198, 200, 230, and we have a missing, right? It says, what must he score on the 8th game? All divided by, well, we know 8 games, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 gets us a average, or a mean, it says, of 215. Let's move that over. 215. Okay. So let's solve it. We want to get rid of a divide by 8 by timesing by 8, both sides. So if we use this, 215 times by 8 gets us 1,720. 1,720. Okay, let's go ahead and add up our numbers, right? Remember, we have to add what they give us, all of these. So 159 plus 182 plus 225 plus 240 plus 198 plus 200 plus 230, 1,434 plus that x. So how do we solve it? We subtract 1,434. So 1720 subtract 1,434 gets us an x equals 286. So that's what he has to get on the 8th game. Let's check it real quick. 159 plus 182 plus 225, 240, 198, 200, 230, and we just said 286 is our next number. Divided by 8 gets us that average right there of 215. Okay, we're going to switch gears just a little bit. This one now says find the missing number when given the median. So remember, median is the number that appears in the middle of our data set. So it says Marta has the following data. Okay, now if we remember with median, right, we have to put them in order from least to greatest. So we have 15, 17, 18, and 20. Now, the median it says is 17. So if I look, they're not going to give me a 17 here. And I'm only adding one number. So this 17 right here has to be our median. So I just have to think about this. If I put a 19 right here, is 17 in the middle of my data? No, I have 1 on this side and 3 on this side. So it can't be the 19. If I put a 14 here, is 17 in the middle? Yeah, there's 2 numbers on the left and 2 numbers on the right. So which number do I add? I add 14. So these ones are just done just by thinking, really. Let's look at another one. So let's put it in order from least to greatest. So we have 5, 5, 18, and 19. And we want the median to be 18. So we want this to be the middle. So I've got 2 on the left and only 1 on the right. So I need to add a number that's going to be on the right, which in this case, 19 would be. Because if I put in an 8, it's on the left, so it doesn't put 18 in the middle. Okay, try this one. And then press play when you want to go over it. Okay. 32, 38, 50, and 50. And it says if the median is 38, so here's our middle. Got 2 on my right this time and only 1 on my left. So I need to add another number to the left, right? So 32, if I added 32, 38 is my median. Okay, so just a little section on that. The next one is find the missing number when given the mode. Remember, mode is the number that occurs most often. So let's look at my numbers. I have 2, 3, 2, 5, a missing number, and a 3. And it wants my mode to be 3. Well, right now up here, if I look at the numbers that they give me, I have 2 modes, right? I have a 2 and a 3 are my modes right now. So what number can I put in there that makes my mode 3? Oh, well, if I put another 3 in there, my mode, right, the number that occurs the most now is just 3. So my mode, or my missing number, would have to be that 3. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, we've got a bunch of numbers, right? I got 2 10s and 2 12s, but I want a mode of 10. So what number do I have to put in there? Well, a 10 in order to make it the most, right? If I put a 12 in there, then my mode would be 12, but I need a mode of 10. Okay, try this one and then press play when you want to check your answer. All right, let's look at it. So in this case, right now, they all are just in there once. And it says if the mode is 10, well, what could I put there in order to get the mode to be 10? Well, I'd have to put a 10 because then that would give me 2 10s in there. Okay, try this one again and press play when you're ready. Okay, we got a bunch of numbers. I've got 2 9s and 2 4s, and it says I want a mode of 9. So what am I going to have to add in? An extra 9, because then that would give me 3 of the 9s, and that would give me a mode of 9. All right, the last section today, find the missing when given the range. So remember, range is we take the greatest number, subtract the least number. So let's look at what they give us. Okay, so if the range is 13, which number could J be? So using the numbers we have right now, let's figure out what is our range. So my greatest number is 20. Subtract my least number is 7. Well, 20 minus 7 is 13. So right now, I have a range of 13, and that's what I want. So let's look at this. If I put in a 10 for this missing number, 10, does that change my greatest or my least number? Nope. But what if I put in a 5? Does that change my greatest or least? Yeah. My least number now wouldn't be a 7, it would be a 5. So that would not give me a range of 13. So it can't be a 5. I have to choose a 10.